Welcome back to New Jersey Wedding Podcast, where we bring you the best wedding inspirations and tips and insider interviews from the Garden State. We are your hosts, Celia Milton and Andrea Pertel. We are both professional wedding officiants. Andrea is in the central and south, and I'm in the north, so we have you covered anywhere you want to be.
Yes.
Today, we're taking you on a journey to one of New Jersey's most charming rustic wedding venues, Cedar Crest Farm. If you've ever dreamed of saying, I do, under an open sky, surrounded by rolling fields and vintage details and maybe a horse or two, this episode was made for you. So grab your wedding notebook or a cozy seat and let's just dive in. We're welcoming Shaughnessy Price, the project manager of Cedar Crest Farm, a family owned farm estate that has recently opened its gates and fields to the public for the very first time. She helps couples and creatives and event visionaries go from feeling limited by the conventional venues that people always find to being inspired by a truly unique setting where they can design their dream wedding or event from the ground up. They offer this without the restrictions of rigid packages or venue rules, and guests are free to create a deeply personal, one of a kind experience in a space that feels curiously both grand and grounded in family heritage and intimacy. They offer raw, untouched event spaces with a stunning 290 acres along the Delaware River, rich with rustic character and pastoral beauty. Historic farmhouses, wide open meadows, woodland trails. It's your blank canvas full of timeless charm, and you can transform it to be something entirely your own. So, hello there. Tell us all about how you got here.
Hi, Celia. Hi, Andrea. Thank you for that beautiful intro. I don't think I could have said it better myself unless I wrote it myself. That was very special.
You're very welcome.
So to be quite honest and to cut to the chase, we opened up the venue this way because I come from a family of creatives and we love to throw a big party and we
Excellent.
don't like being told on how to throw our parties. So about 30 years ago, my husband's grandfather purchased this land, and it's been a gathering space for the family to come together and for us all to party in whichever which way we'd like. This has ranged from some of his corporate events, where I've seen the photos of hot air balloons and petting zoos and vendors and jugglers, full field day experience,
Mhm.
to most recently, and you'll hear me speak a lot from my point of view. In 2023, I hosted my quote unquote second wedding day there, and I had a band, and we had a lot of fun making that something unique and special without the worry of, oh, is it time to go? So, after that experience, I sat down with the family and I said, I think it's time we try our hand at being hospitable and letting other people enjoy
Mm.
our lands here. So I'm so excited to share a little bit more about that.
It's beautiful. I think your website has lots of terrific pictures of what the setting looks like,
It's beautiful.
and we'll post some about the event possibilities. I don't know, Andrea. The first thing I thought about is the Falcon people.
Oh
Did that?
yeah,
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 totally.
yeah.
We'll connect you
Having
with
the
the Falcon
Falcons come
people.
in as the
Yeah.
Falcon
ring
people,
bearer. That's
okay.
that is funny. I have to say, I love that. I love anytime I hear family owned.
Yes, me too.
I think family owned is there's a stronger commitment to like customer service and having everything just go well. Everybody has a stake in it, as you will, and a love for what you're doing, a true deep love for what you're doing. So that always stands out to me when I hear family owned. And I love these stories about how the family and someone bought it for the whole family to enjoy. I wish that would have happened with my family.
Yeah, me too.
Where's our family farm?
And
That's
I kind of touched on we don't like to have restrictions on what kind of party we have. And I hope that there's a bride out there that this resonates with because the raw space, there's quite a few different raw spaces, right?
yeah, there are.
When you
Yeah.
check out our website, you'll see there's a pond. Okay, I can imagine my ceremony there. But then
Mm.
what does it look like to build a reception space? How do I convert a pasture into a space where I can see myself dancing? And that can be really overwhelming. So that's where I come in. And my mother-in-law is also a fantastic visionary, and she can kind of we can guide you to this space is going to work well for this. I love that you want to have something over here, and we can figure it out. And that's what I really can offer you in finding the best area for your ceremony or reception or whatever unique feature you add. The wedding we've had that was a big one in the past is Aunt Chrissy's wedding.
Yeah.
And they did it on the hilltop. So they had golden hour up there
Mm.
with the view
Oh,
across the Delaware Valley. And it was just absolutely stunning. And the fun thing is you can add decor, but you don't need to feel the pressure of adding a lot of
right.
decor.
So
So
beautiful. Yeah.
there's a lot of freedom in that. And being that I've married into this family and I didn't grow up being able to come to my family farm and just relax, the privacy is, I mean, it's uncomparable.
Yeah.
You can't match being able to feel completely free from morning to night because you can also sleep over at our venue.
Oh,
Oh,
how
that's
many does
fantastic.
it sleep?
So it doesn't sleep much, okay? Let
Hmm.
me start there. There's two houses on the property. There's one we call the farmhouse. Very charming. You quite literally feel like your little house on the prairie. There's the wooden slats in the floors. You have to heat it with fireplace. Um, Really cool for like a getting ready space. That one has 5 beds in it and one bathroom. So it's aesthetic more than it is, let's all cram in here and have a big night sleepover.
Uh-huh.
Um, and then the second home is a little more modern. We call it the guest house, and that has 2 proper beds and 2 baths. We also make sure to provide pull-out couches in the style of couches we have, so you can fit more. But we've really lovingly called these like the bride and groom houses. So
Hmm.
Yeah.
you and your party might decide to spend the night there, or you and the groom might decide to spend the night there, and make everyone sleep in a tent or find themselves lodging elsewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, because even though you guys are a very private space, you feel like you're, just out in the middle of there, just you guys and your wedding party. You are close to for your guests to get hotel rooms, correct?
Absolutely.
Hmm.
I'm really glad you pointed that out. So while you go up the private drive and now you're in your own oasis, you can get to Route 80 in 15 minutes.
Nice.
Excellent.
If you take 46 back out, there's a couple of proper hotels, or if you want more of a kitschy motel, continue on your rustic vibe, I can recommend those too.
Oh, that sounds great. That sounds great. Um, you're as far as reception spaces, um, are there any built in or is it like a tent situation? I love a good tent. I'm a sucker
Oh, I
for a
do.
good
The
tent.
tent, the dance
Oh
floor down, and
God,
then
I
the
love it.
twinkle lights strung it. Yeah, it's
I
nice.
love it. Well,
Yes. So you would build your own tent.
okay.
That's what we've done in the past. There are flat spaces to do so. Normally, we recommend including flooring in the case of bad weather,
Oh yeah,
but you
totally.
can definitely do it, classic throwdown style and, just enjoy the grass underneath your feet as well.
Yeah. Wow, it,
That
it
would-
sounds like you can truly help to make the couple's vision come to life in this beautiful space. Um, Tell us about the amount of people. What's the max amount that you think? And do you do micros?
I love this space for micro for the simple fact that you can turn it into a multi-day experience.
Yeah.
And if I were to
Mm.
paint that for you, my perfect weekend would be something like, I don't know, 10 to 10 is very small, right? 10 to 40 people, and they meet you there. You do some sort of wellness activity like explore our hiking trails, and then you find your way back for a breakfast. Maybe you guys make your way down to the farmers market at the bottom of the hill called Marshall's. Absolutely beautiful. And then you come back up for a gorgeous lunch and then a ceremony at the hilltop. Much different than what we envision our grand weddings these days, but
Mhm.
such a bonding, intimate experience amongst close family and
I
friends.
think a lot of people are looking for that now. There's really taken a turn for that, the bonding experience, the interacting, and to
Yeah,
make a weekend of it. That's beautiful.
I
And
agree.
and the photos, there's so many beautiful photo ops on your
Mhm,
property that
mhm.
it's got to be a wedding photographer's dream. You don't have to go anywhere else. You don't have to drive around to different locations. You just meet here and go on the property.
Absolutely. I know, again, speaking from personal experience, we got caught up with our photographer that day. And I said, we should probably get back to the party just because we're like, oh, this
Mm.
tree. Oh, look at this,
Yeah.
flower pasture. Lay here, climb this. Okay, so we had to wheel it back in, reel it back in. But so that's one end of the scope. Do you want to have 200 people there? Okay. I have a field for parking that many people. We have the space for you to build a tent to house that many dancers. We have, the electric hookups for you to plug in a couple of food trucks and,
Oh, I love that.
do it full shebang. You can go that direction. You know, there's a lot of opportunity there that I personally work well with hearing someone's idea, and I don't want to tell you no. I'll just tell you, the realistic way of how we're going to have to get there. And it might take a little bit of sweat equity, but that's what makes it so personable and such a memory to have with your family and your wedding party.
It's very versatile. It's got all kinds of. I'm just scrolling through your website, and I think it is really a blank canvas in the most beautiful way, and I think you could do a lot of fun things there. Really,
You know
yeah.
what, guys? I'm going to get in so much trouble if I don't highlight this one feature. My husband is going to get after me. He
What's that?
really liked the driving range to hit with his groomsmen and have like a little photo shoot hangout over there. So we have like a 250-yard driving range field with
Oh
clubs,
wow.
bats, and targets. And that is the big draw for a lot of the guys is we won't know where they are. Oh, look up on the ridge. They're over there hitting golf balls.
You won't find it. Well, we're finding too,
That's
like
great.
more and more of our venues are are becoming accommodating to the wedding party staying there all day, getting ready there later in the afternoon, but like hanging in the morning and, the golfing range and lawn games and things like that. And just, kind of relaxing for the whole day until it's time to really get ready for the wedding. I think that's a great idea. I
Yeah.
love it.
I
Definitely.
love this for that for the games, the lawn games. If you do that as part of your reception, it gives people to interact with each other. I love this area for like a live band, under the stars at night type thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
screaming for a fire pit, screaming out for a fire
Yeah,
pit.
s'mores
Yes.
around the fire pit and
Yes, I definitely will send y'all some pictures of that. We put the band on the front porch of the second guest house, and that gets lit up really pretty. And then we've made little s'mores packages to go down by the fire pit,
Oh,
and
that's great.
you're painting my perfect vision as well. And it's actually really refreshing to hear other people might enjoy the field games because that's what we did. We had croquet out there, we had cornhole or bags, whichever you call it. Yeah, I think it's fun to be able to spend that non formal time with people you love that you don't get to see very often. And that is, what we really try to focus on
Yeah.
as a family and we want to share with others.
I think you make a very good point because, the wedding day goes so fast. And if you haven't been in that situation before, it go like you're getting in makeup at 7 o'clock in the morning sometimes, and you turn around and it's 9 o'clock at night, and you haven't really had a chance to spend time with people. And I love the weekend kind of idea, just to have that time to spend with people, as you said, that you don't get to see very often. It's really very special, I think.
Yeah, you're
yeah.
right, Celia. I think that's what I've learned as a bride. You have to think about how you want to feel as much as think about how much or how you want to look. There's a there's
Mhm.
a there's a blend of what you're going after as the bride. You can say, you know what, I'll be in my corset and I'm not going to move and I'll stay right here and I'll be in this ballroom and that'll be that. Or maybe you want to actually be able to sit and, be a little more relaxed. Both, I've done style parties and I love either one, but you have to decide what you want for that memory.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's true. I think that, the overall vision, and I don't love that word, but I think having like a guiding principle in the way you make your decisions ends up in you having the wedding that feels like you. From everything, the first thing is usually the venue. Well, the first thing is the proposal in the ring, but after that's the venue. And we come along at some point, but every decision needs to be driven by how you feel that that's going to contribute to what you're trying to project about your couple personality and what you want your day to be like. And I think there's a lot of possibilities here. This looks fun. I like it.
Yeah, it's a reminder when you look at these beautiful pictures. I love the pictures. You can see the driving range. I see the
Mhm.
guys loving that. This is truly a hidden treasure, and it's a reminder that New Jersey is so beautiful and so versatile. Such a great place to come for your wedding, and to hold a wedding because, like you guys are less than a half hour from New York by car, 40 minutes from the Pocono Mountains. In New Jersey here, we have these beautiful green spaces like this that I don't know that everybody knows are here. We have the
Yeah.
beautiful beaches. We have the city.
It's
We
so
really have
true.
everything. It's a great base for a weekend wedding because it is a we say this all the time. It's like a destination wedding without a passport.
Yeah.
And there's, so many things you can do. I know the area where you're situated, and within 15 or 20 minutes there's all kinds of neat stuff you can explore. It's just people are like, wow, this is New Jersey. It's like, yeah.
I could see people that live in the city coming out here for
Yeah.
their weekend, at the farm. I love the picture of the band playing on the porch. Yeah, I
It's
want to
just
go
sweet.
there.
I don't mention it often, but I'm not a New Jersey native, and when I started dating my husband and visiting New Jersey, you're saying exactly what went through my mind. Like, holy cow, what a hidden gem! I can get to everything I'd like
Yeah.
within 45 minutes to an hour, depending on what sort of scenery and what sort of day I want to enjoy. So, I think you hit the nail on the head as someone visiting New Jersey for the first time.
Yeah. And I feel like, we talked about this briefly before we started to record. We get so many people that are visiting our preferred list with all our venues on it from out of state and out of the country. And it's like, wow, what about New Jersey? It's like, yeah, yeah, we got everything.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Uh, what is the best way for a couple if they want to? Do you give tours of the farm if they want to come and check out your venue? What's the best way for couples to get in contact with you?
10 out of 10 recommend coming to see us in person. And
Yeah.
the way you would do that is you could go to cedarcrestfarmnj.com.
Okay.
Let me emphasize, we're Cedar Crest Farm. We only have one, so no S. cedarcrestfarmnj.com. Check out the events tab so you can get the gist of what you're
Mhm.
going to come see. But then make sure you head over to contact us and drop me an email. You'll be communicating most likely with me. And yes, the pictures are beautiful, but it does not give you the gist of all the other hidden corners you might want to decorate and
Yeah.
embellish for your
Yeah.
special day.
Yeah. I'll
Well, and,
tell.
and I think too, you can get a little taste for the area too, because as we mentioned, there's so much interest. There's so many interesting things in the area that you get a certain feeling when you start driving out west in New Jersey, and it's like a feeling of relaxation at some point. It will hit you, and then there you are. But there's all kinds of fun stuff to do out there.
Yeah.
It's absolutely true.
Oh,
My
you could.
favorite thing is that little Marshall's farm stand at the bottom of the street, especially in the fall. It's just such a fun little corn maze. It's the best.
I see you also have in your the fishing is allowed.
Yep.
Catch and release fishing, and you might have a Nessie sighting. I bet the guys like that as well as as well as the driving range.
Yes, well, again, when they go missing, look beyond that little tree, and they're probably down there in the little fishing hut, getting the poles out.
That's
And
funny.
disc golf is very popular now too. And wow, what a great location, you know?
Yeah, and again, if you are interested in the micro wedding, I think even that can kind of be balloon into a big project, but you can
Yeah.
keep it low key. I have folding chairs. I have a couple of wooden tables. It doesn't have to be what we've, been fed of what a wedding should
Yeah,
look like.
it's true.
So it's just about coming together and celebrating, your eternal new next level of your relationship. So I'm happy to talk about that with anyone that's interested in a different style of wedding as well.
It
Yeah.
sounds great. It sounds very helpful too, because I think people are just like freaked out and you get engaged and everybody's happy about it. And then panic sets in. It's like, oh, what are we going to do about this? It helps to have somebody who's gone through it and somebody who's maybe gone through it at the actual place you're considering.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Excellent.
I,
It's been fun.
I want to let the listeners know that we will be including a link on the podcast site as well as all the social media sites to Cedar Crest Farm, the website and their Instagram. So you can click on it and go, right to their website, check it out, hit the contact button, and take a beautiful drive out and go see the farm.
Yeah, really. It's a
Check it out.
great way to spend a weekend day in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Yes, please come see me.
Well, thank you so much for being with us today. We really appreciate it. And I certainly hope to do a wedding up at Cedar Crest Farm
Yeah.
someday soon.
Yes. Oh gosh, I would love that. Absolutely.
Looks like a lot of fun. It does. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your time, and we're kind of all recuperating from Memorial Day weekend, and it's nice to talk to you. We really appreciate
Yes,
it.
thank you both for taking the time. It's such a pleasure to share a little bit more about our little family farm. So
Fantastic,
thank
and
you.
good luck. Good luck.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And that wraps up our chat with Shaughnessy of Cedar Crest Farm. What a beautiful place to tie the knot. I loved hearing how they help couples create a relaxed, meaningful celebration surrounded by nature. If you're planning a rustic or outdoor wedding in New Jersey, you will definitely want to check them out. Visit their website at cedarcrestfarmnj.com to learn more and schedule a tour. And as always, thank you for listening to New Jersey Wedding Podcast. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, and share this episode with a friend who's planning their big day. We've got more amazing venues and vendors coming your way. So stay tuned. And until next time, happy planning. This podcast is brought to you by New Jersey wedding officiant Andrea Pertel, owner of For This Joyous Occasion Officiating Services.
And Celia Milton, owner of NJ Vows Now, also New Jersey wedding officiating services. We're up in North Jersey, and Andrea is down in Central and South Jersey. So together we cover the whole state, don't we?
Yes, yes.